Okay, so this is the third video in regards to the corrections that I want to make going through each one of these with additional tips as well too for you guys to learn. So let's get started here.
The hero only tier. The only way to get these skills in the hero only tier is to select the appropriate hero. None of these skills are worth it, so let's move on.
There's one skill actually that actually does get added to this list with gladiator and also astronomer. So there's black hole and there's also glory. I actually would put black hole into this bottom tier here, that you're not selecting astronomer for black hole, but with that being said, glory's different.
The strongly consider tier. Steadfast, also known as steady, allows for you to block all damage. There are 3 ways to acquire steady: the blacksmith, which is a hero, wooden tower shield, and iron tower shield. Being able to block all incoming damage is a powerful skill.
The big problem with steady, and the reason why I wish I had this clarification in to begin with, people use it too much as a tactic when they're first starting off the game as tanking. And on top of it too, a lot of times you have to hold on to shields with single-handed weapons. So steadfast itself is actually a very good ability. The problem is people overutilize it and use it and waste turns because of it, which they shouldn't be doing with steadfast. That's why, to a certain degree, like, it's kind of like misleading to talk about how good it is, because it is that good, but unfortunately it should be dropped and not used that much, because you're wasting your turn in combat for it.
Second, distraction allows for an enemy roll to fail. There are 3 ways to acquire distraction: the busker, which is a hero, noisemaker, and polyparrot, which are both trinkets. Those skills either gives you a better chance to land a perfect roll, or denies the enemy team a perfect roll. We discussed in the previous video talking about the power of a perfect roll, which is why these 2 skills are so high.
And you guys just saw me actually get hit with a distraction there, which I could have killed the hag if that distraction didn't happen.
Up on the list. For the last tier, I have named this as a must-have. Now, I
want to go back to glory. So glory is an ability that comes with gladiator. Now, glory is the best ability, I should say combat ability in the game. It does something that most of the other abilities do not do, is it tells you that glory is ready, whereas things like called shot, steadfast, there's many more that for some reason I'm completely blanking on, that don't actually happen until after you've done your rolls. Glory happens before your rolls, so then you know that you actually have a higher damage output, and that's incredibly strong compared to a lot of the other ones that you see out there.
Honestly despise telling people they must do something in a game. What's the fun in that? But it's hard not to emphasize how OP this skill is. It's party heal. For those of you who watched part 1, I went into great length to explain why party heal is so effective. Here is how you acquire party heal. The herbalist and the monk, which are both heroes, knotted staff, yew staff, book of healing, and ivory lute, which are all weapons, the gathering bonnet, which is a headgear, and pipe diffuser, which is a trinket. Think of the list for a second. The game developers have 8 different ways for you to obtain this skill. Do you think that maybe
There's actually more.
they were trying to tell you something? Keep one thing in mind. In order to get either the herbalist or monk, you need lore to do so. I want to thank all of you for your recent support.
So the big thing is here is party heal is the best ability in the game. We just talked about this in the first corrections video, so I'm not going to go back through it again. You don't necessarily have to have the heroes to do it, but you can do it through having equipment and all that kind of stuff. But party heal is the best ability in the game, bar none, and that has not changed. You need that for the entirety of the game, and that's incredibly important. As you can tell, I've even been using it in this really slow seller run that I'm doing right now. So those are the main corrections for that one.